The rescue in the wreckage. The sky above was filled with smoke and fire. The battlefield had been silent for hours, but the ground still smelled like burning metal and blood. Trees were broken, machines were shattered, and nothing seemed alive anymore. Jace, a human scavenger, moved slowly through the wreckage. He wore a dirty jacket, carried a laser pistol, and had a scanner in his hand. He wasn't a soldier, just a survivor looking for parts to sell. Suddenly, his scanner beeped. He froze. There was movement, weak but real, just ahead. He walked carefully through the wrecked alien ship, pushing aside sharp metal and burnt wires. Smoke stung his eyes, and the heat made his skin sweat. But he followed the signal deeper into the broken pod. Then he saw her. Lying against the wall was a tall, armored figure. She wore silver and blue armor that looked like it had grown into her body. Her helmet was cracked. Strange liquid oozed from her sides. She wasn't human. She was alien. Her skin, what little he could see, was soft, purple. Her hair was silver and messy. Her lips moved slightly. He stepped closer. Her voice was a whisper. Broken. Weak. Help, please. Jace dropped to his knees beside her. Are you hurt? He asked. I can't breathe. Remove. Armor. His eyes widened. The armor didn't look like something he could remove. It had no buttons, no seams, like it was alive. He hesitated. What if I kill you by trying? He said. She reached up slowly and grabbed his arm. Her hand was trembling. If you don't, I'll die anyway. Jace cursed under his breath. All right, he said. But if this thing bites me, I'm out of here. He touched the chest plate. It was hot. Too hot. But he pushed through. The metal pulsed, almost like it had a heartbeat. As he pressed his fingers around the edges, he felt a click. Suddenly, the armor twitched. She screamed, but it wasn't a scream of pain. It was something else. Her eyes glowed briefly, then shut tight. The armor began peeling away on its own, piece by piece, like it had been waiting for someone to unlock it. Jace stepped back as it dropped to the floor, smoking. Her body fell forward into his arms. She was breathing, slow but steady. He looked at her face. She was young, maybe his age or a bit older, and beautiful in a strange alien way. Thank you, she said, eyes barely open. Jace laid her down gently. Who are you? He asked. She didn't answer. She was already unconscious. He looked around. He couldn't stay here. If others found her, they'd finish the job. Some alien factions hunted, their own kind. Maybe she was important. Or maybe just a prisoner. Either way, she needed help. He picked her up carefully. The moment he did, her body glowed faintly, blue energy traced along her skin. It felt warm, comforting, but also strange. Jace looked up at the sky. Why do I always find the trouble? He moved quickly, carrying her through the ruined landscape. His small ship wasn't far. He just had to make it back. As he walked, her fingers clutched his shirt. Even unconscious, she seemed scared. He didn't know her name. He didn't know her story. But Jace made a quiet promise to himself as he ran through smoke and fire. I'll keep you safe, he whispered. Whatever you are, whoever you are, I'll protect you. Behind them, the wreckage started to spark again. And far above, in orbit, unseen eyes were already watching. The air inside Jace's ship was quiet, but heavy. Every beep, every hum from the old systems echoed in the silence. The alien girl lay on the small medical bed in the back, motionless. Her armor, now lying in pieces on the floor, still twitched sometimes, like it was alive. Jace watched it from a distance, gripping a metal rod in case it moved again. What kind of tech was this? He muttered. He glanced back at the girl. Her skin, lavender and soft, looked bruised in some places. Her body seemed to shimmer faintly, like light moved under her skin. He stepped closer. Then, Suddenly, she gasped. Her eyes flew open, glowing, bright blue. The lights in the ship flickered. A small burst of wind shot out from her body, sending Jace stumbling back. She sat up, breathing hard. Her hand grabbed her chest. "It's gone," she whispered. "The armor. It's off." Her fingers trembled. She looked at her own skin as if seeing it for the first time. "I can feel everything again." Jace stood still, his heart pounding. "What was that armor?" She looked up at him slowly. Her expression was a mix of fear and something else. Guilt. That armor wasn't just for protection, she said. It was a prison. Jace blinked. "Prison?" She nodded. "They locked it on me, said I was too dangerous, that I had to be contained." Suddenly her body jerked forward. Her hands dug into her sides as if something inside her was trying to break out. Jace rushed to her, but she screamed, "No! Don't touch me!" Blue sparks shot from her fingers. The wall behind her cracked. Her eyes glowed again, brighter this time. Her voice shook. "The armor kept my powers in. Without it, they're coming back, and I can't control them." Jace looked at the cracked wall, then at her. "Powers? What are you?" "I'm a Kylan," she said through clenched teeth. "Our kind are born with energy inside. Raw power. But I was born different, stronger. Too strong." She fell to her knees, her body shaking. "I was locked away by my own people." As Jace stepped forward carefully, he asked, "Why? What did you do?" "I was born." The words hit like a hammer. Jace didn't know what to say. He crouched beside her, offering his jacket. "You're shaking." She took it with trembling hands. "It's starting. The power's waking up. If I lose control, I might destroy this ship. I might hurt you." He studied her for a moment. "You didn't hurt me before. You were dying. And even now, you're trying not to." The ship's light dimmed again. Then, her fingers brushed his, and everything froze. Literally. The entire room turned silent. Jace could feel her thoughts, images flashing in his mind. A tall tower, screams, chains made of light, her voice calling for help in the darkness, the armor locking around her body like a coffin. He pulled his hand back with a gasp. "What? What was that?" "Our bond started," she said quietly. "You freed me, so part of me is tied to you now. That's how it works." "Bond? Like mental link?" She looked away. "More than that. I didn't choose it. It just happens. With Kylan, freeing one from armor is like unlocking the soul." Jace took a deep breath. "Great. I rescue a glowing alien girl and now we're soul-tied?" He smiled to himself. She looked up, eyes wide. "You're not afraid?" He sat beside her. "Terrified, but leaving you alone? That would be worse." She stared at him for a long second, and then whispered, "Thank you." But just outside the ship, unseen by both, an insect-like probe clicked on. It scanned the ship silently and flew away. Into the clouds far away in orbit, a signal lit up. Subject Kylan escaped containment, tracker lock confirmed, and the hunt began. The morning sky was dark, painted with red clouds that didn't move. A storm was coming, but not the kind made by weather. Inside Jace's small ship, the air was thick. He sat on the floor near the alien girl, tools in his lap, pretending to work. But he wasn't fixing anything. He was watching her. She stood barefoot in the center of the room, eyes closed, breathing deeply. Her silver hair floated around her as if touched by wind, though the air inside was still. Her skin pulsed softly with blue light. And then the lights in the ship blinked. Again. "You're doing that, aren't you?" Jace asked. She opened her glowing eyes slowly. "I'm trying not to." "Right." He looked down at a floating metal cup spinning gently above the table. "Don't take this the wrong way," Jace said, "but I think you're going to blow my ship apart just by blinking." "I said I'm trying," she snapped, crossing her arms. But her voice wasn't angry. It was scared. Jace stood up. Look, I'm not a scientist or anything, but I've seen some weird tech. I've never seen powers like this. I haven't either, she whispered. Jace blinked. Wait, even you? I was born with power, yes, she said. But now it's different. Since the armor was removed, it's growing faster than before. Something changed inside me. She held her hand up, and without warning, the wall behind her cracked open with a loud pop. See? I didn't even mean to do that. Jace ducked behind a chair. Okay, let's not blow holes in my walls, please. She dropped to her knees, panicking. I can't control it, it's building up like a storm. Jace walked to her carefully, staying low like she was a bomb. Breathe. You're okay. You saved me from dying back there, now let me help you. She looked up at him with tear-filled. Kiritu, you don't understand, Jace. My people, they feared me. They said I was a wild core. They said I'd burn planets. Jace crouched next to her. And did you? She shook her head violently. No. I never hurt anyone. But they didn't care. They sealed me in that armor when I was a child. I haven't felt wind or warmth in years. Jace's jaw tightened. So that armor wasn't just a prison. It was torture. She nodded slowly. Just then the ship rocked. Was that you again? Jace asked, rising quickly. But this time, it wasn't her. A red alarm flashed on the panel. External scan detected. Unidentified drone near hull. Jace ran to the console. We've got company. She stood behind him, hands shaking. They found me. Who's they? My hunters. Jace looked at her. You're saying someone's tracking you? She swallowed hard. Not someone, my own people, the Kylan High Order. They don't let prisoners escape. The ship rocked again. Jace grabbed a blaster from the wall. You're not going back in a cage, he said, eyes locked on hers. Not while I'm alive. The alien girl stepped forward, her glow intensifying. Then I'll fight too. Jace tilted his head. You sure you won't blow me up by mistake? She smiled weakly. I'll try really hard not to. Outside, in the dust storm that now howled across the hills, 3 hunter ships approached, black and sharp like birds of prey. Their red lights flashed through the fog. Inside the ship, the girl raised her hand and whispered a few words in her language. Suddenly, every metal object in the room floated. Jace stared at her as the wind rose inside the ship. You've got this, right? I hope so, she whispered, because if she didn't, the storm outside would be the least of their problems. The wind outside howled like a dying beast. Dust and ash slammed against the ship's hull, making it groan with every gust. Inside, the lights dimmed to a flicker. The power core buzzed like it was holding its breath. Jace stood by the window, staring into the swirling storm. He couldn't see anything, but he felt it. They were close. Behind him, the alien girl stood with her, hands at her sides. Her eyes were glowing, but her body trembled. Energy pulsed around her skin, faint and unstable. They're here, she whispered. Jace turned. How many? 3 ships. Maybe more hiding above. I can feel their tech scanning us. He reached for his rifle. Let me guess. They don't want to take you back alive? She shook her head slowly. No. They'll take me alive. You, not so much. The ship rattled again. A red light blinked on the console. Warning, external lock-in, hull breach possible. Jace cursed under his breath. We can't stay here. He grabbed a satchel, tossed in 2 ration packs, a power cell, and a blanket. We're going on foot. In this storm? She said. It's better than waiting to die in a tin can, he replied. She didn't argue. Together they moved to the back hatch. Jace pressed the panel. The door hissed open and the storm screamed in their faces. Dust whipped across their skin like tiny knives. He pulled his scarf up. She wrapped the blanket around her shoulders, hiding her glow. They stepped out into chaos. The land around them was nothing but broken rock and twisted metal. Crashed ships from old battles lay like skeletons in the sand. The only color came from the red lightning flashing across the sky. As they moved between the wrecks, she suddenly stopped. Her hand gripped his arm. Jace turned fast, rifle raised. Out of the dust stepped a tall figure, black armor, glowing visor, long-bladed weapon humming with energy. Jace fired without warning. The blast hit the figure's shoulder, but it didn't fall. It laughed, a deep, hollow sound. Then 2 more shapes appeared behind it. They sent elites, she said, backing up. The Order's personal hunters. Any chance they want to talk? Jace asked. She didn't answer. She raised her hands. The air between them crackled. The lead hunter rushed forward, blades out. But before he could swing, a wave of energy exploded from her palm, sending him flying backward into a broken wing of a ship. The other 2 came fast. Jace fired again, missed one, hit the other in the leg. Keep moving. He shouted. They ran, ducking into a broken cargo hauler. Inside, the air was thick with old oil and melted plastic. She gasped for breath. I'm losing control, she said, falling to her knees. Jace knelt beside her. You've done enough, just hold on. I'll buy us time. She grabbed his arm. No, you'll die. He looked into her glowing eyes. Better me than both of us. Then she did something strange. She touched her forehead to his and whispered, Now we are one. For a moment, everything stopped. He saw stars, memories that weren't his, a palace made of light, chains of sound, screams behind golden masks. He pulled back, gasping. What did you just do? I gave you a piece of me, she said. Now you can fight like one of us. Jace blinked. You gave me powers? No, she smiled faintly. I gave you the ability to survive. Outside, the hunters were closing in. But inside the wreckage, something had changed. Jace wasn't just human anymore, and they were no longer just prey. The silence inside the wrecked cargo hauler was sharp, like the world had paused to take a breath. Outside, wind howled, metal groaned, and the hunter drones circled above like vultures. But inside, something else was happening. Jace knelt beside, her still shaking from the strange vision she had given him. His fingers tingled. His heart beat faster, not from fear, but from something new, something powerful. He stared at his hands. They were glowing faintly with a soft blue light. What did you do to me? He asked. The alien girl, still pale and weak, leaned against the metal wall and smiled. I told you. I gave you a part of myself. Our bond, it's not just emotional. It's survival. Jace frowned. That wasn't a gift, that was a connection I saw inside your mind. I had no choice, she said, her voice quiet. You were going to leave me to fight alone. And I can't lose you. Not now. Jace stared at her, stunned. You barely know me. I know enough, she whispered. You saw my pain and didn't look away. He didn't know how to answer that. Suddenly, a red flash blinked through the cracks in the wall. The hunters were near. They're closing in, he said. We don't have time. She nodded weakly. There's something else you need to know about the bond. Can it wait? No, she said seriously. If one of us dies now, the other one feels it. Jace froze. Wait. Like emotionally? She shook her head. No. Physically. If they kill me, it could tear your mind apart. If you die, I might lose control of my powers. It could level everything around me. Jace cursed under his breath. So we're connected. Fully. Yes. He looked at her again. Really looked this time. She was strong, even in pain. Her eyes were deep and sad, but also full of something else now. Trust. And maybe even hope. He offered his hand. Then we protect each other. Deal? She smiled and took his hand. Deal. Suddenly, a loud clang echoed through the wreck. One of the hunters had landed on top of the cargo hauler. Jace pulled her close. Time to move. But she stopped him with a hand on his chest. Wait, she said. I can mask our presence for a few minutes, but I need focus. He looked around. This place isn't exactly peaceful. That's why I need you, she said. She closed her eyes and placed her palm against his chest. Jace felt a pull, like his thoughts were being gently slowed. His fear faded. His heart calmed. And slowly, the glow around them began to vanish, sinking into the metal floor like mist. Outside, the hunter paused, its scanner's word. Nothing. Inside, the girl was shaking again. You're pushing too hard, Jace whispered. I have to, she said. We only get one chance. He wrapped his arms around her, steadying her. Her skin was cold. You're freezing. I gave too much power to you. It's okay. Jace held her tighter. No, it's not. Outside, the storm howled louder, but the hunter moved on, fooled by the mask. Inside, the girl leaned into him, and for the first time, she didn't feel like a weapon or a prisoner. She felt human. Jace looked at her, really looked. Not as an alien, not as a threat, but as someone who'd been alone far too long. I'll get you out of this, he whispered. No more cages, no more hunters. She looked up at him and smiled through her tears. You already did, but their moment was short-lived. Far above, in orbit, a command was given. Target reconfirmed. Orders updated. Bring her back and kill the human. The sky above cracked open with thunder, not from nature, but from engines. Jace stepped out of the wreck, staring up. The clouds parted just enough to reveal something massive descending. Sleek black metal shaped like a dagger, glowing with red lines. It wasn't just a hunter ship, it was a command vessel. They sent a collector, the alien girl said, her voice trembling. They're not here to chase anymore. They're here to end us. Jace raised his rifle. Well, they can try. She stepped beside him, wrapping the loose blanket around her shoulders. Her legs wobbled, but she stood tall. The glow beneath her skin had dimmed, but her eyes still burned like twin stars. I have one chance to stop it, she whispered. But it might kill me. Jace turned to her sharply. No. No more dying talk. We survive. Together. A deep humming sound filled the air as the collector ship opened a massive hatch mid-air. From it, black pods rained down, 6, 8, 12. They hit the ground with hard thuds, splitting open like claws. Elites stepped out, bigger, stronger. Modified, one of them shouted through a speaker. Return the prisoner, the human will be erased, Jace shouted back. You'll have to come take her. The ground rumbled. The alien girl placed her hand on the soil. Energy rippled through it like light moving across water. I can call the old power now, she said. But once I do, I won't be able to stop. I'll lose control. Then let me anchor you, Jace said. She looked at him, confused. You're part of me now, he continued. If you need focus, use me. I'll keep you grounded. Tears filled her eyes. You don't understand what that means. I don't have to, he said. I trust you. That was enough. She stepped forward, bare feet touching the cracked earth. Her hair began to float, caught by unseen wind. The blue glow returned, brighter than ever. One of the elites lunged forward. She raised her hand. Crack! A bolt of blue lightning hit the ground like a hammer, shattering the elite's armor and tossing him into the air like a rag doll. The other soldiers hesitated. Jace moved beside her, aiming and firing, quick, clean shots that dropped two more. She moved like a goddess of light, spinning energy into waves, pushing enemies back with sheer force. The power around her sang like music and thunder mixed. But Jace could see it. It was costing her. Blood ran from her nose. Her knees buckled for a moment. He caught her. I'm here. Keep going. The collector ship began charging a beam from its front core. A sound like grinding metal and rising screams filled the air. It's going to vaporize us, Jace said. Can you stop it? I can try, she whispered. She raised. both hands to the sky. The clouds exploded in blue light. Everything shook. The ship paused. Its beam flickered. System scrambled, but it wasn't enough. "Pull back," Jace shouted. "You'll burn yourself out." She didn't listen. "I have to protect you," she said, voice cracking. "Then protect yourself too." He grabbed her shoulders and, without thinking, kissed her forehead. The energy flared, the bond deepened, and suddenly their powers merged. Jace felt it, the surge, the memories, the strength. His body trembled, but he held her tightly. Then she screamed, not in fear but in release. A shockwave exploded from them both. The collector ship rocked violently in the sky. Its left wing cracked and pieces fell in burning chunks. The enemy, troops were tossed like leaves in a hurricane. Silence followed. Just wind and dust, and the sound of metal groaning in the distance. She collapsed into his arms. Eyes closed. Skin dim. "Did we win?" Jace whispered. Her voice was a breath. "Yes, but they'll come again." He smiled faintly. "Let them." The battlefield was quiet. Ash floated gently through the air like snow. The collector ship lay burning in the distance, one wing buried deep into the hillside. The ground was cracked, scorched by blue light and plasma fire. No more enemies stood. Just 2 souls remained. Jace sat on the ground, holding the alien girl in his arms. Her breathing was shallow. Her skin had lost its glow. Her silver hair was tangled, and her body trembled like a candle about to go out. "You did it," Jace whispered. "You saved us." Her lips moved slowly. "We saved each other." He looked down at her, fear tightening in his chest. "Don't talk like it's over." She gave him a tired smile. "Then hold me, until it's not." He did. For hours they stayed like that. No words. Just warmth. Just silence. Then, from the sky above, another ship appeared. Sleek, white and glowing gold. Jace tensed, but this one didn't come with weapons. It landed slowly, quietly. No soldiers stepped out. Only one figure. A tall alien woman in royal robes. The girl in Jace's arms opened her eyes weakly. "My aunt," she whispered. "A high matriarch. I called for her with my last strength." Jace watched as the regal figure approached. Her face was unreadable. Cold, but not cruel. She knelt beside them and touched the girl's forehead gently. "You lived," the matriarch said. "I chose to. You escaped judgment. I escaped a cage." The matriarch looked at Jace. Her eyes scanned him, head to toe. "You are the human?" "I am," he said, "and I'm not letting her go." The matriarch raised a brow. "You think you have a choice?" The alien girl placed her hand over his heart. "Yes, he does, because I chose him first." The matriarch looked between them, and then, to Jace's surprise, she smiled. "Then it is done." "What's done?" Jace asked, confused. "In our law," the matriarch said, "removing a Kylan's armor is not just saving them. It is claiming them. And when a Kylan chooses in return, it is binding." Jace blinked. "Wait. You mean..." The alien girl nodded, her eyes clearer now. "We're soul-bound. You freed me, Jace. You carried me. You fought beside me. And I gave you my heart." He looked down at her, stunned. "But I'm just human." "You're mine," she whispered. The matriarch stood. "You may return with us," she said. "Your bond is recognized, and more than that, needed." Jace frowned. "Needed." "There's a war coming," the matriarch said. "You've proven that humans are not weak, that one human, bonded to a Kylan, can change the sky. You are now part of our fate." Jace looked around at the ruined ground, the broken ship, the blood on his hands. Then he looked at her. She had tears in her glowing eyes, but they weren't from pain. They were from peace. He helped her stand. She leaned on him. Together they walked toward the golden ship. As the ramp lifted and the doors closed behind them, The storm outside faded into calm. For the first time in her life, she wasn't afraid, and for the first time in his, Jace wasn't alone. She had asked him to remove her armor so she could breathe, but what he gave her was far more than air. He gave her freedom, a future, a reason to live, and in return, she gave him her heart.